what is next for the main character of the UFC right now? Alex Pereira, following his win over Khalil at UFC 307. Yeah, what is next? At least that's the question everyone is asking, everyone is wondering, especially with all the options Alex has right now. So today we're going to discuss what I think should happen next with Alex, and also what I think is going to happen, because those are two very different things. And before I say anything, fuck Alex versus Jones. I don't care. Fuck the McGregor tweet. No one cares what McGregor has to say. His opinion doesn't matter. And I know mine doesn't either, but his don't either, okay? The video was funny, but if you have any knowledge about the sport, if you want the sport to remain with integrity and be taken seriously, that fight cannot happen. That is the last fight that needs to happen right now. So let me get this straight. You guys want Jones to have the opportunity to fight the main character, the biggest star in the UFC right now, the guy who's dominating and finishing everybody. You want Jones to have an opportunity at beating him because it's a cool fight? Jones won't even fight the fucking number one contender, aka interim champion, defending interim champion in his own weight class. How the fuck can y'all say he should go fight Alex with any serious face? I don't understand it. That would be the biggest spit in the face to Aspinall of all time, even more so than what they're already doing. And yeah, I don't want to say it. I hate saying it, but you're a fucking casual if you want that fight to happen. Stop. If any super fights are going to happen between those three fighters, it should either be Alex versus Aspinall or Aspinall versus Jones. And we all know Aspinall versus Jones is never going to happen. Jones is going to run, duck, and hide. He'd rather take his chances against his wife again, probably. Yeah, the GOAT. What a GOAT, guys. But yeah, that fight's not happening. So the only fight that should really be made with these three is Alex Aspinall. It makes sense. Alex is running out of stuff to do at his division. And yeah, he only, honestly, after one more title defense, I think he should be given that opportunity to go for triple champ status. Something that definitely was not thought to be possible when the sport started. Insane. That would be history in the making. That is how you become a new fucking current GOAT of the sport and kick John Jones' ass to the curb like he should be. He's not the GOAT, by the way. If you do steroids like that and beat your wife, you're not the GOAT. Sorry. And I completely agree with DC. If something like that happened to someone as known as Michael Jordan, the GOAT of a sport, of a fucking just such cultural significance to people. If someone like that did something like Jones did, they would be, bro, Tiger Woods got fucking canceled for cheating on his wife. Jones beat the fuck out of his wife and no one cares. It makes no sense. Get Jones out of that equation. He's retiring after the Stipe fight anyway, so I don't know why are you guys saying this stuff? He's not going to fight anyone else. And if it was, yeah, he probably would fight Alex because it's an easy matchup on paper. I mean, if he can't take Alex down, he's going to die on the feet. So, fuck it. I would love to see that, but no, that fight should not happen. Let's move on. Now let's talk about what I think Alex should actually do moving forward, his next fight. And it's the boring answer, but the boring one is sometimes the right one. He has to stay at 205, guys. He has to fight Ankalaev, especially, or Rakic, if Rakic beats Ankalaev, but he has to, okay? Especially with everyone saying he's ducking Khalil all of a sudden. Guys, you know that's not true. You know the UFC just doesn't like Khalil, doesn't like his fight style, can't sell him, and they don't want him to end this run of Alex, just being the biggest star in the sport right now by far. They don't want that to be over yet, so the UFC is hiding him from Khalil. It's not Alex running from Khalil. Get that shit out of here. But yeah, he should fight Ankalaev next, or Rakic, but I think Ankalaev is probably going to win that. And talking about moving down to 185, that's barely an option, let's be real. I think Alex could make the weight, but he's not going to fight well, he's not going to feel well, he's just going to destroy all that muscle and size that he built over the last 2 years, just fitting himself into this division at 205. He's perfect, it's his division, he should stay at it. Fuck going back down to 185. Where his chinny ass would get finished. Dude, if his chin wasn't actually good and it was like it was at 185, this dude would have got knocked out in the first exchange with Khalil. So clearly that division just destroys his body, destroys his chin, and he definitely should not go down. It's not worth it, okay? You already got that belt. I mean, whether you think Dricus is an easy matchup for you or not, it's not worth it. I do think there's a good chance he could go down and get the 185 title again, though. I mean, let's not act like he couldn't catch Dricus, but what's really going to happen is he's not going to catch him. Dricus is going to get the takedown and either just tire Alex the fuck out by doing that for multiple rounds, or he's going to sub him, or just TKO him. I don't think Alex's gas tank, his chin, his just toughness, he's not going to hit as hard. So, yeah, it's just not worth it. Let's not go down to 185, please. Let's just stay at 205 for now. I don't see why we wouldn't. This division would low-key suck without Alex, so I think it is important for the division for him to stay here, too. You got Dana, and every time he's asked, he's like, oh, no, I don't want him to leave 205. I think he looks great. Dude, you know he does not want him to leave 205 because he saved the division from this shit show, not having the belt captured for like a year straight, it felt like. There was no champion for so long. And with the injury, with Yuri and Jamal, like this division has just been plagued ever since John Jones left it. Not that John Jones made it better, but fucking bunch of robbery, shitty decisions in his last few title fights here. But that's not important. I'm not going to talk about Jones anymore. I think I got in my 2 cents at the beginning of this video. And yeah, he beats Ankalaev or Rakic. Maybe even someone else after that, who knows. A rematch with, I don't know. There's a lot of options for Alex. He can do whatever the fuck he wants, and that's probably a great feeling. But it's also probably hard to decide because he doesn't know what he really seemed adamant about going down to 185 for like a month or two recently, but now it seems after beating Khalil, feeling really good at 205, and maybe they just had to talk with Dana. It's like, bro, we need you to stay here, okay? At least for another year, beat another 1 or 2 contenders. And yeah, I don't think he's ever really going to become the 205 GOAT. He's either going to become the GOAT of the sport or he'll never be the 205 GOAT because no one is going to admit that he's better than Jones at 205. But give him 2 more fucking wins, it might as well be true. And I guess we'll talk about the heavyweight situation more in detail too. I mean, I'm not saying Alex cannot go up and knock out 90% of the heavyweight roster. I really think he can, and I think he's way better than all these heavyweights, other than Aspinall, obviously, and a few. There's a few talented heavyweights. Like, I think Cyril Gane would give him a lot of problems. But, I don't know. He's big enough for the division, but he's going to get knocked the fuck out by Aspinall still. It's not going to matter, okay? Just look at their body types. They're like the same height. Maybe Aspinall or Alex is a little taller. I don't know. They're the same height, but you can just see the sheer difference in their physiques. The thickness and mass that Aspinall has on him. Dude, he's going to run at him, successfully shoot it double leg in the first 30 seconds, probably sub him with like an arm crank or some impressive ass shit. You know Aspinall, he's always showing off, always dominating all of his opponents. And yeah, I think he would do the same to Alex. So I don't really think it's a good idea. It's going to end his hype train, but you can't blame him. He's chasing greatness if he goes for that, and triple champ status will never be achieved by anyone except Alex. Alex has a chance. He's the only one that even has remotely come close to having a chance. That is so crazy of a statement to say, but it's true. He really is going to become the GOAT if he does that. And, I mean, I don't think that just as a given means you're the GOAT, but imagine he gets the heavyweight belt and he defends it. It's going to be undeniable. The greatness he achieved in such a short amount of time, too. Only losing to one person in the UFC, Izzy, not a bad loss. This guy is just becoming a future GOAT so quickly. It's insane to watch. Now let's talk about what I think is going to happen. That was all what I think should happen, but it's the same thing. I think he's going to stay at 205. Wow, I didn't even realize that this was stupid to say. But yeah, I think what I think should happen is going to happen. I think he's going to stay at 205 because the UFC wants him there. They need him there drastically. And it's the least risky play staying at 205. So I just can't see anything else happening yet. Dana's very, very hesitant to give him that heavyweight chance, obviously. even with Joe Rogan in his ear begging, oh, please let the guy I hyped up on my podcast for years, saying he was going to do great things in the UFC, become the GOAT, dude. Joe's never going to fucking stop mentioning that, as he should. He called that shit insanely perfectly. He said how much of a monster Alex was in kickboxing, and he saw the potential, and clearly he was fucking right. If the UFC seriously lets him go down to 185, then they're fucking lost. I also don't want that to happen because everyone's going to use it as an opportunity to hate on Dreykus even more. You're fighting against a 205 already? It's like, yeah, I don't know why people use that as a negative. The champion's just defending who is put in front of them. You know, if anything, they're badass for accepting a champ to come down or come up to get double champ status. They're badass for accepting that because they're risking like everything. They're risking a lot for low reward because everyone's just going to say these days, oh, you fought a 155er? I thought you were the 145 champ or the 170 champ. That doesn't make you look good. You struggled against a lower weight class guy? Shut up. Light man skill is a real thing. And the differences in sizes between the two weight classes, like that you're touching, you're at 155, you'd be surprised how much of a difference the 170s are. It's not that much. Okay, they're not that much bigger. They're really not. Weight classes are very subtle differences in body types and just who can cut more weight and shit like that. At this point, it's just become a competition. Who can drain more fucking water out of their body? It's a bit annoying, and that's why I respect fighters like Colby and even Jose Aldo. Like, he was fighting at 145 his whole career, became the GOAT at that weight class, but then weight cutting technology got even better. We learned more, and he got down to 135 and proved he can do great at this weight class too. So, yeah, I just don't think you should look at it into it that much, the weight classes and shit. I mean, just because you defend against a lower weight class guy or a higher weight class guy, it doesn't matter. You're still defending your title. You're still fighting the best of the best there is. So, I still don't think 185 should happen. Fuck that. So, let's also talk about who the fuck is going to stop this guy. Like, if fucking Ankalaev can't do it, who's going to do it? I don't think anyone is going to do it other than, obviously, a heavyweight super fight like that. I mean at 205. Okay, no one at 205 is going to be able to stop this guy. And you could also say that Khalil just exposed him a little bit and showed he was more human than we all thought. Like, if you have a decent chin and good defense, you can avoid getting left hooked. You can. It's been proven. And it already was proven against Izzy, but he clearly had less power at 185 than he does 205. Now, you could argue against that point that Khalil just kind of exposed him and showed he was a little more human than we all may have thought. But it's not like we haven't seen this guy lose. He's got brutally KO'd before. It can happen. But he showed that his chin is insane in that fight. It also showed how his defense is bad, but I'm going to be real. If you're a fan of the sport, you already knew that. You already knew Alex's defense is terrible. His chin's constantly up in the air. His hand placement's super unorthodox compared to everyone else. He doesn't put his hands up at his chin. He slowly moves his head out of the way of punches. I mean, he has a very fun, unique style where he just is slipping in and out with his head moving, coming in and out of the box, just trading crazy hooks. Not really trading, honestly. He's just so good at counter-striking. He will lead you in a direction that he'll have you trapped, really. Dude, Yuri tweeted it was a beautiful hunt. Bro, that was so badass. I love Yuri. Too bad you have no chin and couldn't hang with Alex at all while Khalil could. That sucked. And Khalil needs much respect for this fight. He did really good. I'm already seeing so many corny Peloton fans commenting on shit. Like, people will make a comment saying Khalil did good, and the fucking Peloton tards will come back saying, no, it wasn't close. Peloton had him exactly where he wanted him. He was going to win the whole time. There was no chance he had it losing. Shut up. Just accept. In their mind, they're not actual fans of the sport. So in their mind, the guy that's just completely dominating and knocking out everyone, if he actually has a tough fight, in their mind, oh, he's not good anymore. That guy sucks. He was a fraud. Like, shut up. He had a tough fight against a tough opponent, okay? It's MMA. There's fights that you think are going to be easier than others, and they end up not being. It's simple as that. But yeah, that's the end of the video, guys. I just wanted to talk about Pereira and his plans moving forward, at least what I think should be the plans. There's just so many options. He can do whatever he wants. and it's going to be an insane fight. It's going to be an insane spectacle, and it's going to do pay-per-view sales. I don't really know how his pay-per-view sales are, but I assume he's a very big star. Like, my fucking dad knows who he is, so he's a star. He's the main character of the UFC right now, and I can't wait to see him fight again. It'll probably be in 3 months from now, so get ready. I'll see you guys in the next one.